I think life becomes so much easier once we realize that trying and failing and not trying at all are the exact same thing. I am Paula, the girl that sits here, hopefully every week from now on, to talk about things that happen to all of us, but that we don't really talk about enough. But someone has to say it, someone has to talk about this because I feel like these are experiences that we all have, but not talking about them just makes everything feel like you're going through it alone. And I think it's a little bit, it's like a hug to your soul to know that other people are struggling with the same things as well. It makes you feel like less lonely and less lost. So I hope that's what you get from these videos. It's so insane how we have to be constantly making decisions. And I feel like people just don't talk about how frustrating it is to know that our future is kind of like up to us, and that all the decisions you make lead you to a particular outcome, and you just don't know which is the right one because there are so many outcomes and it's just so overwhelming. It's like, I don't know for you, but for me to know that my future is up to me, it's like really scary. It's also kind of exciting, but also it's like, what if I just fuck things up? Like, how am I supposed to know which are the decisions that are going to lead my life into what I feel like I want it to become? And this is the thing. I feel like being in your 20s is very scary because you feel very lost and you feel like the weight of building your future is on your shoulders, or at least that's what people tell you should be doing. But honestly, I feel like that fear never really leaves. Like, you can be in your 30s or in your 40s and still be scared of your future. And you see, we are told that life needs to follow like a certain path. So it's just like school, and then you graduate, and then university, and then you get a job, and then it's kind of like the same until you die. Like, life is just built for people to just follow the same path and all just like be successful and be rich and have a family and whatever. But like, what if you don't want those things? Or what if you just want to try something different? But when you think of that, you realize that there's no guide for doing such thing. Like, life itself, it's complicated. Like, following the standard path, it's already hard, but at least you feel like you know what you're supposed to be doing. Like, if I graduate like university, I know that I should be getting a job, so at least there's some sort of guide. But like, if you don't want to follow that path, then you are completely lost. And I think that's what stops so many people from trying to do things they want to do, things that might just not fit into the standard way of living your life. It's like the fear of not knowing what's going to happen. It's what I think stops almost every person from just going ahead and trying something, just speaking their minds, or quitting their job and trying something else, or just following whatever is their calling. It's just like fear of not knowing what's going to happen and if it's going to be all right. But I'm gonna tell you this: unsaid things and unmade decisions don't disappear. Like, your life, it's not going to all of a sudden become perfect just because you follow the standard, or just because you don't do the things that make you scared, or said the things that just make you anxious but you actually want to say. Not doing these things doesn't automatically mean your life it's going to be perfect and it's going to be great. It just gives you this feeling of safe, just because you don't have to face what makes you scared, but it doesn't guarantee anything else. Like, trying the things you want to do and failing leaves you at the exact same place as not trying at all. It's the exact same thing. Like, let's say you want to move to another country and, I don't know, get a different type of job, but you're like really scared it might go wrong. Doing it and it actually going wrong and not doing it at all leave you at the exact same spot. Like, you're just not having that job. If there is something that you feel like it's calling to you, whether it is a particular job or confessing your feelings for someone, or taking the first step in something, or going to a party full of people that you don't know and you actually want to make new friends but you're too shy, or whatever it is, it's because you want it. Like, if you feel like a certain calling, like this drive or interest in any particular thing, it's because you want it. And trying to get it and not having it and not trying at all have the exact same outcome. You not having or not being successful in that particular thing. And if you think about it that way, for me at least, the feeling and the fear of failure becomes a little bit smaller, because you already know what life is like without that particular thing, without confessing your feelings, or without doing that job, or without living in that country. You're already living that life. So if you try and fail, what's going to be so different? You're already living that way. Don't you think it's worth to give it a shot, or at least try and see what happens? I mean, if you think about it, it's actually the only good option. Like, staying the same way forever just because you're scared, it's not different than failing at all. And you know what? If you're still not convinced, if you still feel like not trying doesn't mean failing, because at least you're in your comfort zone. Actually, how comfortable is your comfort zone when it's not filled with things you actually like or you actually want? When it's just filled with things you tolerate? Like, does that actually feel comfortable? Doesn't it bother you, even if it's just a little bit, to be surrounded with things that just don't feel good anymore? If you try something, or if you at least give the things you want to do a shot, and they go wrong, at least now your life looks different. At least now you have experiences to remember, you have lessons to share with other people, and your life, it's in a different place now. And even if it's not exactly where you want it to be, at least you're a little bit closer. At least you're on the path there. And who knows how many interesting things could you even find just if you tried. Just if you got out of like your comfort zone that's actually not that comfortable. I think the whole point of this is just fucking do it. Like, just go ahead and give it a try. Try that one thing that's calling you, that one thing that makes you feel like life could be fun, that one thing that's scaring you because of how much you actually want it. Go ahead and try it and see what happens, and see if failing is really that bad. Like, you might not even fail at all, because guess what? Unsaid things and unmade decisions and unmade actions, they don't mean unfelt emotions. Like, you're probably going to feel bad for not trying anyways. So that's another reason why you should just go and give it a shot and see what happens. Listen, love, life, it's short and long at the same time. It's long because you actually do have a lot of time. You don't have to have your whole life figured out right now. And you do have time to change your path if that's what you want. You don't have to like the exact same things all the time. You don't have to do the exact same thing forever. You can just change your life whenever you want to, and that's okay. It's normal, you know, we're people, we learn, we grow, we change. It's okay to want different things. And don't forget that you do have the time to get those things. You know, it doesn't have to be everything right now. And this goes especially to the people that are like 17, 18, or still teenagers that are about to enter their 20s and feel like you're about to make the most important decisions of your life, because whatever you decide right now, it's going to dictate what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. It's not like that. I mean, it could be if you wanted to, but just know that you can change your mind. You can change the things you do at any point in life, and it's not too late. But you see, life is also short because you just get one of it. You know, even if you still have time, at some point you're going to die. Everybody's going to die. And you're not going to get all this time back. So don't you think it's worth it to just use the time you have doing something that makes you feel like leaving. It's great. Think of this. Right now, life still feels like it's going to be so long, because it probably is going to be. Like, you still have a lot of time. But at some point you're going to be 80 or 90. Do you want to be that old and look back into your life and realize that fear is the only thing you remember? Like, it doesn't matter if you lived a life you enjoyed or a life you didn't. You are still going to die. It's fear what you want to see. It's fear what you want to tell people younger than you that your life was about. It probably is not. Think of life as a train. Like, you can be the person who doesn't get on the train and just stays outside waving to everybody as the train leaves, and you're just standing there in the same place forever, wondering where the train's going or what are those people doing now. You can just stay outside of the train, see everybody just doing their own thing, taking the train and just going somewhere, and then you just stand there and go back to your home and go back to do the things you were already doing. Or you can be the person on the train, because if you're on the train, at least you're going somewhere. You know, taking the train, making that decision you want to make, doesn't mean you're going to have to love it. It doesn't mean it's going to end up all right. But if you don't like it, if you change your mind, if you fail, you can always take another train and just go back to where you were before. Or you can take a different one and see where that one goes. There's always the choice to stay where you are or to just take the train and see where things go. Which one do you think it's better? Which one do you want? Which one do you think it's more fun? Which one do you think it's going to give you more experiences and more memories? And most importantly, which one do you think it's going to give you a life that you feel like it's worth living? Like, do you want to be the person outside waving goodbye and just staying the same place forever? Or do you want to be the person that is taking the trains and just seeing where life goes? So if you came here looking for advice, this is it. Think of life as a station full of trains. Take each and every single train that it's calling to you. Just take it. Take that chance. Do that thing. Speak your mind. Just do it. Just do it and see what happens. Even if you fail, life is not going to be any different than it was before you even tried. So just do it, because you know what? If life is a train, we are all going to die in the last station. So just make sure you're taking the trains that are leading you to places that you like. And that's it for today. I hope this gives you some sort of motivation, or at least some peace of mind. And remember that you are not alone, and see you soon.